please, please welcome to the stage Emma Caulfield, J. August Richards, and Ron Glass.
Okay, fantastic. Just imagine being cool and suave.
People are so nice to you.
They are.
It's like they like you.
Nancy, where are you? Nancy.
Do you have something for Nancy? Is that why?
No, she has something for me. Calm down. Okay.
I think that person is really willing to be Nancy now.
Wow.
So, good morning. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So, I just, well, obviously, first of all, thank you so much for coming. And I just, first of all, wanted to ask you guys, I know that some of you are, all of you are actually con veterans. And I just wanted to know, what was the first thing, being at conventions, that someone said to you where you're like, okay, this is something special, this is something fantastic, this is why I'm coming to conventions, this is why it's worth it. Because it's not a lot of sleep, it's a lot of energy, you lose a lot of energy, it's a lot of talking to people.
Why? Wait, why?
Well, no, why it's like, because it's a lot, it takes a lot of energy talking to a lot of people.
What keeps you
coming
not running
to
for
these?
the hills, basically?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Well, what's the first time that you were like, oh my God, I'm coming back to this is so worth it?
Oh God. I don't know. Do you?
Adulation. There you go. Nice, well done.
It's hard to resist.
It's true.
Okay, I'll just say this. Look, I'm just gonna keep it real. I have this tendency to like not really answer questions directly. I just say what the question reminds me of or inspires me to say. So I'm gonna say this, that I feel in a lot of ways, like honestly, like when I come to these things, and if this is not true, don't change it for me because I like thinking this way, but I feel like I am just, and the artists are just the excuse that people use to socialize, come together, and find people that are interested in similar things. So I don't necessarily feel like the main event, ever. I just feel like an excuse for the main event. Okay.
It makes you feel less self-centered, I guess.
I guess.
So everyone, I just want to let you know that we're going to be taking questions right over here. Betsy is right behind this pillar, so if you would like to ask a question of our lovely panel here, please line up now so that we can take your questions. So if you had to pick a character to play other than yourself in any Joss verse, so like any show that he's done, who would you choose?
Spike, I think. Spike. Yesterday I wanted to be his girlfriend. I think someone have to be that. Yeah, like that would have been a fun thing to do. To be Spike's girlfriend. Just basically Team Spike. That's all.
I think you could rock the leather jacket.
I could. And then you just cut it in shorter and just blonde it out. That'd be fun.
Ron?
I'm not really a sci-fi guy.
That's kind of like going to a swingers convention and saying you don't swing.
I'll do anything to be different.
That's right.
But so the reason I say that is because I don't know other Joss shows. So I can't really pick like that. So it has to be something from Firefly or Serenity. And out of that, I mean, I would seriously probably prefer to be Mal. If I can't have that, I'll do Kaylee.
Good morning, thank you so much for coming today. Obviously we're all huge fans of yours and we waited 2 hours to see you guys in person, and I'm curious, if you went to a con on the other side, what panels would you go to? What are you interested in? What would you wait in line 2 hours to see?
Keeping in the spirit of not directly answering questions, I am going to a con in Edmonton, and I fanboyed hard when I found out that the actor who plays Hannibal is going to be there, because I'm so excited to meet him. But I would, okay, I'll answer your question directly. I would stand in line for anything. Well, I was, yeah. The new Star Wars movie, like if there was a panel about that, I'd be in line all day. I'd stand in line all day for that. I mean, so many things though, but that's definitely one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I would also stand in that line. I'm so excited for Star Wars. Can't handle it. Anything to do, probably, like I was really sad that the X-Files, the 20-something reunion, were you there? 20, oh, wait, what? Are you talking to me? I feel like I'm hearing voices. What is happening? Forget it. It's time machine. Time machine. Yes, I would definitely like I'm X-Files for sure, and you know, like all the next generation people all in one panel. That would be really cool. I can't believe I haven't done that because I'm obsessed. All those three. I like sci-fi basically. And if Sigourney Weaver were to show up with like James Cameron, just those two. I was obsessed with James Cameron, so that would be, and her. Okay, anyway.
I hope this is not heretical, but there's a show called Suits. I would stand in line for more than 2 hours to just see Gina Torres keep changing dresses.
So what
She was actually, she was in Dallas actually.
What is your most memorable moment working with Joss Whedon?
I'll wait because mine is indelible.
Go ahead.
He called and said, Ron, I have good news, bad news. Which one do you want first? I said, give me the good news. He said, well, the good news is we're making a movie and you're in it. And as I was about to applaud, he said, the bad news is you die. That's unforgettable.
Well, a lot of people throughout the years have commented on how much they love the body. And Anya's breakdown speech of the body. And that was, obviously, it was just a very hard day. But that was probably my most vivid memory of working with him because he was such a tear taskmaster. Very specific about where the tears came out and when they came out. And so, you know, I'd go through the whole scene. It's like, great, 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 but, you know, less tears. Okay, great, 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 more tears. Great, great, great. Try this eye. can you get it out of the left eye? Good to know I actually can do that. I didn't realize that was a skill set I had. And then, you know, whatever I had ended up being, that's primarily, he wanted the one tear just to come. And I don't know how many times we did that. And we were in meal penalty. I mean, that story's been told often about that. And of course that I really had to go to the bathroom. That was also widely circulated, which was entirely true. And so my tears were out of frustration at that point, just hunger and a full bladder. But he didn't care, and he wanted the tear, and he got the tear. And kudos to him, because it was awesome. Yeah.
It's hard to narrow it down, but I will say number one was at his house one time we did a Shakespeare reading of Othello, and I played Othello and he played Iago, and that was amazing. I mean, it was so much fun. It was great. And there was that, and then a cool memory for me is like when we were doing the ballet episode, we would play Boggle in Alexis's trailer at lunch every day, and that was just so much fun for me because I love Boggle, I love games, and it was just so much fun. We are such nerds. Like it was shocking, exactly. No, it was this nerdy. Like we'd be playing Boggle, and Boggle is a word game, and you know, we would try to like just out-nerd each other with the nerdiest word and like dare you to say that is not a word, you know, like wousted, you know, or just some word that you knew was a real word, so we were trying to out-geek each other. It was just so much fun just to see who could score the most points, so that's my fondest memory.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Not you. Is there a point at which there are no more cameras?
He's being serious. He's being sincere.
I mean, that's just for fun. Let's just say after the next 5 minutes, like no more pictures.
Unless you need them for visual aids because you are visually impaired.
Can we do that? Please? I really appreciate it. I'll tell you why. Excuse me. It's because there's a picture that goes around where it was taken at a panel, and my face was like putty. And that picture is everywhere. So I try to be cool for like the first 5 minutes or so, and after that, of course it won't happen today, but so anyway, it would be cool if you could arrange that. Thank you.
Beyonce got the same problem. Do you remember? She was hitting it so hard, right? And the camera would snap a picture right at that moment, so she shut down all those pictures. Yeah.
Ron Glass and Beyonce. I like that.
She gets a lot of her stuff from me, actually.
All right, my question is for Ron Glass. Did you ever find out what you did with the Alliance, or did it drive you absolutely insane that you never did?
I did find out, and it did drive me crazy until I found out. And after I found out, it didn't make me feel any better. It would take too much time to tell you the whole thing. But I have a direction for you. There's a graphic novel called A Shepherd's Tale.
You should read that.
Thank you.
Great.
Hi, I would just like to ask, is there something that Joss Whedon did with your character, either in the beginning or middle or whatever, that you wish he maybe would have changed, that your character grew in a way that maybe you weren't expecting, and you wish he would have changed it in the beginning so you grew in a different way?
I don't think you have to ask me that question.
because my character changing at all was always such a surprise for me, and always a lot sooner than I expected it. So I was always surprised and always ready for it. So, yeah, no problem.
Well, and I loved both the way Anya and Gunn changed. Like, it was very organic. You know, they both had such great character arcs, and there was a lot to them, both in like the humanity that Anya, like, that they felt as growing from a demon to a human person, and then Gunn as a demon fighter to having to go to like just that corporate presence, and it was just, there was a lot to that. I was talking to Phil. Sorry, I might like these shows a little bit. I might have feelings.
Hi, this is for all three panelists. Emma, your death scene, and Ryan, your death scene were memorable. I'd like for you to comment on your process in going through your death scenes in the finale, Buffy and Serenity. And Jay August, I'd like you to predict yours on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, if history shows I don't die, I multiply.
You asked me what I feel about that character's destiny?
That scene.
Oh, that scene. Oh, death scene. Okay, I'm sorry. No, I have one bad ear. I'm not even, that's no lie. I actually have, this year is really bad. And this year's really good. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm like, what? Wait, death scene. Well, I asked for it. I asked to be killed. So I thought that would be really cool. And I thought a really fitting end for her journey, to have something very selfless to do, to be at least be in the position where she could offer up her life to save everybody. I think that was a really good arc for her. Like I said the other day, I didn't realize just how she was going to die. That was a bit of a surprise. It was like, fuck you, and sorry if there are kids in here, I apologize. But I thought it was perfect. I thought it was a perfect way for her to die. He's gone. He's gone. Where'd he go? Oh, there you are. Good. I can't hear you or see you. What?
I'm just sitting down so the people behind you can see.
Oh, awesome. You're so generous. Look at you. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say on it.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. It's kind of one of the things that was really strong for me was to remember that it was acting, you know? And so it was important to not die, you know? Because when you think about the whole thing about doing things in method style and all that, you know, I mean, you know, so it was important to remember that it was about displaying as opposed to doing it. You know? And then I also realized that one of the things that was really, really important for book was to always teach something. And so it was a wonderful, wonderful circumstance in which to teach something that he believed in very, very strongly. And that was the thing when he says, I don't care what you believe in, just believe it. So I was satisfied with that.
And Jay August, how you believe the character have evolved and changed as the series progressed with S.H.I.E.L.D. just the second season, kind of building on for that. Anya and Charles Gunn, basically.
How do we feel about their progression?
I feel like it was a very organic process. I was only hired for one episode initially. It was just a one-off. And luckily they asked me back and then just kept asking me back until I was just there all the time. You know, what at least I initially conceived of her was, I mean, I think I always sort of intuitively got her on some level, and I'm glad that they liked whatever I had offered, and then worked off that, and then we created this whole awesome backstory and everything for her, and I think it just flowed. I had a really good time playing her, and I think they had a fun time writing the ridiculous things that would come out of my mouth. At least that aspect of her and me, because people ask that a lot, like, do you have anything in common with her? And I'm like, I don't think so. But that actually is something we do share. I run my mouth off all the time. Sometimes get in trouble for it or whatever. And I think that whole process was just a natural flow, and that doesn't always happen. So I was very happy with where she went. And happy that she never really ventured too far from her core, really. Where she didn't do things like, she wouldn't do that. She always just like, oh, she would do that. Which is nice to have, because sometimes, I'm sure you all know, sometimes things happen that are out of your control, and you just have to suck it up and do it, and you know it's wrong. And I never, ever, ever had that issue. It was always on point.
Where did you go, first of all? Where are you? Oh, hey. How you doing? Okay, so I was really pleased with the progression of my character, especially because from the moment before I auditioned for the part, my objective never changed. And with everything that the character had gone through, the core of the character that I was getting to know even before the audition managed somehow to stay the same, and everything that I did always fit into the exact idea of who I thought this person was. I had imagined that his parents were killed by vampires, and he had to take his little sister under his wing, and then in order to keep them safe, he got other kids on the street to come together and form this gang. And that was what I did all 5 seasons, essentially, was protect my family. So that's why anything that happened, whether I was a lawyer, whether I was getting my heart cut out, whether I was juggling, whether I was, singing in Caritas, it was always to protect what I thought of as family. Because he was always trying to recreate his family, and he did that with Angel, Cordelia, Wesley, and Fred, and Lauren, and Lindsay, and Lila. Oh, is there a follow-up? Oh, with Deathlock? Isn't it ironic? And it was only pointed out to me at one of these conventions, actually. Oh, getting back to the first question. Cool things you find out about at conventions. Someone said to me, about the similarities of the characters and family, and it never dawned on me. It never dawned on me until I was at a convention and someone said, it's interesting that Gone was all about family and Deathlock is even, is just as much about family. And so, yeah. Hey, what's up?
Thanks for coming, guys. I just wanted to ask if you could guest star on any TV show that's on right now, what would you like to be on and why?
Game of Thrones.
Walking Dead. The end. I love that show so much.
And Suits. You got it!
That was a hard question. You guys had to think so hard about that.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be like Leroy Targaryen. The Deathlock clan. Yeah, of the Deathlock clan. Leroy Targaryen of the Deathlock clan.
It's like, what's on your coat of arms? I'm just curious about
Well, other than a paycheck, what was your main reason for accepting your roles on your respective shows?
Wait, the what? The show that I want, The Walking Dead, hopefully? Is it?
No, Buffy, Firefly, Angel.
Why did...
So.
The paycheck for me was last on the motivation list. But,
yeah, the
I don't know what
paycheck
was
was
first.
not awesome. It's true. So no, that was never a motivator. Well, you have to show up. You know, if they hire you, you can't just not show up. So legal reasons I had to show up. Is that the question? I'm sorry. I feel so dumb right now.
No, she asked what your motivation was for choosing the project.
Oh, they just asked me. It was like, oh, okay. I mean, I was a fan of the show. Like, I will absolutely guest star on that show. It was awesome. Yeah, well.
On Walking Dead or on...
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, they'd never get me off the set on The Walking Dead. Just be hiding out in any place there is and just hide me under the dead bodies. I refuse to go home. What?
That's fine.
Oh, I'm so jealous. God. I love that show so much. Oh, well, yeah, they have a thing called security. And I have, trust me.
somebody on that crew has to be a Buffy fan. I'm just saying.
No, Galen Hurd is a fan. And I've actually, we had a project in development with Gail, and the studio passed. Sad days for me. That was really sad. So no, I trust. That has been please hire me. Come on. You know, I'm not crazy. I mean, more than what you suspected anyway. Yeah. No, I'm like, who do I have to? Man. Do I have to take off my top to get on The Walking Dead? Anyway, that's a lot of information. Somebody else talk. God, you're letting me hang myself.
Interrupt you.
Please.
Did anybody here see the pilot of Firefly? The reason I ask is because the thing that I'm going to say only appeared in the pilot. It never occurred any time after that. When I first came on camera, I was wearing what we call a greatcoat. I would have done the whole thing just to have that greatcoat. And we I only got to wear it in the one, just the pilot. So there was the greatcoat, and then, I had all that hair. And I wasn't, when I did the audition, I had it all back and was trying to hide it, because I didn't know whether it was going to be, appropriate for the character or not. And I wasn't ready to get rid of my hair. And so I was very, very grateful that by the time I did the third audition, I was brave enough to let my hair out. I thought, well, if this is the third time he sees me, he may be really, really interested and really, really considering actually hiring me, so he should know that I have all this damn hair. And as some of you know, he made use of that hair.
Did you write that in just for that?
No, I brought it to the audition. Yeah, the scene.
Yes.
Well, it's one of the things that's really, really fabulous about talented people is that they make use of what's available. And that's what he did. I'm sure he didn't create the character around that hair. So anyway, so that was that. Now, the serious part is that I was very, very, when I first read the script, I was like covetous of that character. I almost never have that kind of reaction. So I just really, it was like, you know, you hear people talk about they would do anything to play this particular part, but that's the way I felt about Book. And so and part of the reason is because, well, there were two reasons. One is that he got the opportunity to display enormous humanity, and he was the conscience of the ship, but he would also kick your damn ass.
So Emma was talking a little bit about the body episode, and for me, I felt like that was one of the most, I guess, authentic episodes, you know, with people's, or the creators' approach to death. But I was actually wondering if any one of you has an episode or a scene that particularly resonates with you on a personal level.
To answer my question.
Wow, you guys ask such thought-provoking questions, and I love it because I'm a Virgo and a perfectionist, so I always want to give the perfect answer. That's my problem. So let me think about that.
Insight into myself. That's the question.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously the body episode might have been a little bit difficult for you if you had ever had an experience with death, and I think we were all very close to Joy and who she was, so I think it was hard for a lot of people who probably experienced the same thing. So I was wondering if there were anything that you had filmed or participated in that hit you on like close to home.
Well, yeah, you know, I said, unless I'm hallucinating, like I said this is, I think I did. Somebody asked something similar, and I think my answer is, it holds for what you're asking, and I don't know what episode it was. I'm sorry. I suck. The one that was about me. What was it? Thank you. Yes.
It was called Selfless.
Selfless. No, that's not why it was about. Shut up. Why? No, that's not what I meant. You're gonna feel really bad when you hear why, because she asks, you know, what if I'm nobody? And that, like, I understand that. Like, I get that. I always have. I think that's especially I think if you're in this business on any level, especially if you're gonna put yourself in front of the camera at any time, that question of, are you important enough? Like, are you important enough to be hired? Are you important enough for people to give a shit about you? Are you important to, I don't know. Whatever your view is of success, like, are you worthy enough of getting that? Am I enough? Just in life, are you enough? And if you're not, are you anybody? Are you invisible or feeling invisible at any point in your life? And I was not, kids were mean to me growing up. I was not a cool kid by any means. So there was a lot of that loneliness, like, oh, you know, well, if they all hate me, then I must be horrible, you know, that. And there's no way that that's not a universal feeling, that everyone in this room at some point, unless you're Beyonce, yeah, she's flawless. Has experienced feeling that at some point, and then doing what you need to do to get out of that space and find that you are somebody, even if no one thinks you are. You just are, because you're alive. Did I make any sense? I feel like I went on.
It made so much sense. You cut to the heart of universal truth. I got it. All I needed was a minute, because I knew that there was one that especially touched me and was on such a parallel track with my own personal life. Prior to booking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I could not get an acting job to save my life. So for 18 months,
That's not possible.
for 18 solid months, I was auditioning maybe 5 times a week. Not really 3, 4, 5, something like that. But some weeks I would have 5 auditions. And about 6 to 7 or 8 months in, I got sick of being told he was great, but he just looks too young. He was great, but he looks too old. He was great, but he's too handsome for the role. He's great, but he's not hot enough. I literally got those 4 excuses, well, I don't mean to say excuses, reasons in 1 week. And after that, I really shut down. I got so discouraged and so frustrated and was really not knowing what was gonna happen with, you know, me and my career, my life and stuff like that. And then I had a turnaround, which is everything you just said. Everything that you just said was a long process of soul searching for me, of meditation and prayer, and I came to everything that you just said. Hearing that, or knowing that, finally understanding that my value, my worth, my humanity is independent of an acting job, independent of money, independent of quote-unquote celebrity, independent of everything. Like who I am exists outside of anything material. And I got really clear about that. So now we're about a year into my unemployment and I am working on this audition for something else. I'm working so hard, right? I'm working like I used to work when I first started, like really passionately and really trying to figure out how to connect the dots of this character. And in an instant, I kind of zoomed out and saw myself working so hard on this thing, having not worked for a year, having not gotten a call back in a year, and I saw myself clearly, and I was like, wow, most people would have given up by now, but you are still hitting this so hard, Jay. You are doing that, Jay. And I kind of fell in love with myself that day. And I'm trying to get through the story without crying, I really, you know, I was just, it was just one of those moments where things were falling apart, but you still have the strength. Cut to 6 months later, I have an audition for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they want me to do something that I'm not comfortable doing, which is going in for an audition the same day that I get the material, actually showing up at the audition, getting the script, reading it, and then going into audition. I'm very uncomfortable doing that because I really like to work on things. And when I read the script, the audition scene, it was my last scene on the pilot where the character says, he says, I couldn't. And this is exactly what happened to me on the set too. He said, your fucking question. You're in this question. You asked what scene really personally touches us. Here we go. And I said, I could be, you know, a hero. And this is this man whose whole life is falling apart around him. His son has been taken from him, his wife, his job, and he thinks that S.H.I.E.L.D. is about to kill him. And right before he dies, or he thinks he's about to die, he says, I could be, you know, a hero. And I thought about myself that day in my bedroom working on the material. And that was it.
Back in the 70s, when I moved to LA, I had an agent when I came to town, and they agreed that they would send me out to all of these casting agents.
I'll go. I respond. What? Did you say shock? I'm like, oh, that's so harsh. I haven't gone first all the time. I was like, oh. It's like shock. I'm like, oh. I'm back in 6th grade. Oh my god. Bad year. What the hell was I saying? Oh my god.
It was about the representation of women in...
Yes. I am loving. I guess I just thought they were really cool movies and cool things that I liked, but I guess the theme was that they all had a very strong representation for females. Like, you know, I've mentioned I'm obsessed with James Cameron, Ripley, and it just all of it. He tends to write very well, and then being on a show where the characters are strong, unapologetically so, but I don't even mean strong, because I get really irritated now. The new thing with women being strong is like, you have to kick ass. Like, what the, how many people, I don't know very many women actually, who can literally kick ass. Like, can roundhouse kick your ass into a wall. Like, that's not, you know, the norm, but to be strong, like have a sense of self, and not apologize for having an opinion, or being able, you know, being able to sort of stand in your own space and feel okay with that. It was a pleasure being able to be, you know, a part of that. And I don't even think I fully answered your question, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't actually remember your fucking question. That's the problem. I have gone off the rails again. What the hell is happening?
Can I just say I'm falling in love with you too? Shout out to your fiance.
Wait, please, I'm so sorry. It's not that it wasn't interesting, it's because I'm a moron. What was your question?
No, I'm happy to repeat it. Okay, I know it was unwieldy, so that's how
No, it was me. It was all me. Yeah.
My question was about like the representation of like
themes
in both Whedon's writing and like his writing of women as dynamic people, which a lot of modern like cinema and TV has lacked. And your opinion on both working on the shows and just Whedon's writing in general with those themes and the relative lack of that in other media.
Well, having been a part of that thread, that through line, it was a joy. But I've, you know, it's like I've been able to work with Marty Noxon a couple of times, different things, and Jana Spenson, who's a personal hero of mine. I love her so much. That whole group, it definitely is, it continues to spawn really strong, just strong characters in general, just good writing, and strong women. And that it is frustrating to see for every great role, great representation, there's 100 that aren't. And then that gets really confusing, because it's like, well, you know, what does it mean to be a woman? Like, you know, and it gets frustrating, because, you know, I don't know that necessarily men speak up, but that is necessarily a default question. Like, what does it mean to be, like, I'm a man, like, should I be doing this? I feel like you just are. Like, sort of with movies that suddenly, if it happens to have more than one woman in it, it's a female movie. Like, what is that? What's a female movie? Like, why isn't it just a woman that happens to have, a film that happens to have more females than men? Whereas if it's just a movie with a bunch of men, it's just a movie. You know, it's a subset. It's a chick flick. It's, you know, well, that we can't have that show on our network because we already have too many sort of female-centric shows. Like, okay, ew. Like, that's just, it's so frustrating. And I write a lot, and I write under a male pseudonym. I do, precisely for the very reason that I couldn't change what it is, which is depressing. You know, there's sort of a certain amount of slots that they'll like, well, we need a woman for this, or we need a female perspective. Like, okay, well, I guess I missed that slot. You know, you had two, and you know, so I don't write as a woman because I have to, and that's sad, and that is really depressing, and it's doubly depressing when you hear other women don't want to work with other women. That's even worse, and I hear that a lot. There's a lot of I don't know what it is. It feels like for everything that for every moment or sort of celebration of you know, hey, women actually do spend money at the box office, and women do go to cons, and women do give a fuck about comics, or women say, no, they don't. That's just, you know, that was a glitch. It was a glitch that year. Let's go back to the, you know, the older model. And, you know, maybe one of these days, like, that's me, you know, a woman's show, you know, sucker. But yeah, right now, no, I won't. And I think that is probably the most telling answer I could give you for your question, is that I won't even, I don't write under as being a woman. I'm aggressively not. I don't, yeah, sad. So don't hate me, don't be disappointed in me, please. If you can't beat the system, try to kill it within, I guess.
Can I just say this as a side note? When I was preparing the character of Charles Gunn, I was really obsessed with the fact that, okay, this character hates all vampires. So he hates an entire group of people. Interesting that I would be asked to play this character because I feel like my whole purpose in life is to bring people together. I hate any sort of ism. I hate sexism. I hate racism. I hate homophobia. I hate ageism. I hate any time when a person counts out an entire group of people. So I was like, why am I being asked to play this part? So I'm like, okay, he hates a group of people. I can't connect to that. I can't connect to hating a group of people. And then I went, oh, I do hate a group of people. I hate bigots. So when I was killing vampires in my mind, I thought I was killing, you know, haters. So that's what I made the vampires in my mind. That being said, it is an absolute honor to work with somebody who subverts expectations the way that Joss Whedon does.
Now that Josh is working with Marvel and everything, I think you'd make a great Nick Fury, Ron. Absolutely. You answered a lot of my questions. Thanks so much for sharing, because a lot of my questions I had in my head, you guys just brought it out, and I appreciate it so much. What is Josh, from what he's taught you? Josh.
I love y'all for that.
Josh. What is he? What acting has he brought home? Have you guys taken home with you? What acting? What thoughts have you brought home with you? You know, since you worked with him, what have you brought home that he shared with you? Not physical, emotional, like, you know, unless you did take something from the set.
Are you talking like technique or?
I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure how to address that. But well, I kind of see it a little bit differently because I mean I think in a certain kind of way, every character that any one of us plays calls upon us to bring out something that's already inside of our own lives. So it's a question about how you choose to use those things. And whether you used to, you know, you determine whether at a certain time, whether it's important to use this quality or a certain time, whether it's important to use another quality. And so I think it's just in a certain kind of way, it's just a matter of respecting and valuing all parts of yourself and just sort of getting to trust and to have the wisdom to know when to use which part.
Oh, shout out to Marty Noxon. You just said Marty Noxon. I'm doing her new show called Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, which premieres in December. Please watch that. It's going to be really awesome. To answer your question, I need a Joss Whedon app on my phone when I'm acting because he has this way of saying something to me that is exactly what I need to hear right when I need to hear it. Like when I was doing that last scene in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the one I was just describing, you know, I did one take and it was really good, but it wasn't great. And he said, he just whispered in my ear, I think this guy has a little more pride than that. And that took me over the edge. You know, it just emotionally opened me up and made, I mean, and he has done that in the scenes that I feel are my best in Angel and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was always some note that he gave that was just like ignition. It was like a match on there you go, that's it. And that was my trivia question. No, okay, so that was to answer your question. Thank you very much. Before we go, I have a giveaway. There is this fantastic new book called Joss Whedon, a biography, written by Amy Pascal. So I want to give this book away, and I'm going to ask a trivia question.
There's Nancy. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
No worries. We've been looking for you for an hour, girl. You got some explaining to do.
Everybody's volunteering to be you, Nancy.
Everyone. Okay, so here's the trivia question for today. What was, okay, and if you know it, shout it out, stand up, and everybody be fair. Let's all be honest. If you hear somebody say it first, be honest about it. Okay. What was the name of the episode in which my character, Charles Gunn, made his first appearance? What'd you say in the back? Boom! You guys, thank you so much. That was so much fun. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you so much.